Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 2 between MudGolems and Virtus Pro. Saw Virtus Pro take that Game 1 pretty damn dominantly. Just MudGolems got slapped around and chucked in the dumpster, pretty much. So we'll see if maybe they're able to provide a little bit more of an even showing at least would be a bit nicer. But that was just a complete slapdown in that previous game. We'll see what they're able to do this time. MudGolems, they're actually ones banning out the faces forward this time, so you know it is Virtus Pro that has that first pick available. Wait, is it Hero the Virtus Pro pick that much? I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't really know. Either way, they ban it out nonetheless. They don't want to risk it potentially going to Virtus Pro's hands. But VP, they snap up the Viper once again. I mean, it worked really damn well in that previous game. Just DM was such a pain in the ass that Skeeter could not do anything and get any sort of farm on the line. So they're going to do it again. So whatever hero they do pick for Skeeter in the safe lane, it has to be someone who can do relatively well against a Viper, which is no easy feat. So maybe potentially a Drow perhaps could be quite nice. Gives you a little bit of extra range, so you're not going to keep constantly getting caught out by these Nether Toxins. But instead, they're going to take the Enchantress as their first pick. That's going to be down to Fire once again, and Virtus Pro respond by taking the Tiny once again. So that's most likely going to be the hands of Save. Even he did a pretty good job in that last game. It was just a lot of him being fired in from GPK as the Snapfire, and this sets up for an easy Avalanche toss combo, along with the Mortimer's Kisses damage. So it was just easy kills every single time. So see what MudGolems going to take up here. And they're going to go for the anti-mage themselves, so they are going to have that way. Sure, it's a lot of ranged hero to easily farm against the Viper, but I suppose if he ever gets hit up by those Nether Toxins or the Viper Strike, he will just be able to blink back. I mean, even if there's a Viper Strike that comes out onto him, it's a pretty easy thing to counter spell. It's a projectile you can see coming. But even still, I mean, he will struggle a little bit to farm up against this Viper. But hopefully they're not going to be as aggressive as they were in the previous game. They just kept going for kills onto DM, and they backfired every single time. Well, I mean, the first time they killed him at least, but Skeeter did die in response, and they tried to do it immediately again, and then Skeeter just died and DM survived, and then that was the whole lane. It went to shit, pretty much. It just went absolutely terribly. So see what we'll see if he's able to have a little bit of an easier time. Just settle down. Just chill your beans, man. Chill your beans. First Pro banned out the Bloodseeker and the Void Spirit. We'll see what they're going to pick up as their position one this time. Obviously the anti-mage has already been taken away from him, so they can't do that again. Maybe... not too sure at the moment. A PL doesn't do too bad against an anti-mage, but obviously he doesn't have any sort of built-in lockdown, so we'll rely heavily on the rest of his team. MudGolems, they take away the Drow Ranger instead. Let's see if maybe they're going to ban out the Snapfire once again, just to stop that coming out from GPK, because it was pretty damn potent. I think Borony has actually played Snapfire in the mid themselves a couple of times, and they do have first pick in this second picking phase. So maybe they'll take that themselves? And maybe potentially have a little bit better showing themselves. Actually, VP, they ban it out. Maybe thinking that's going to be potentially what MudGolems could think about doing. what sort of position ones does relatively well against an anti-mage? I mean, the Faceless Void normally does well against the anti-mage as long as if they have equal farm. But obviously that's already been taken out. They actually ban out the Sven and immediately grab the Magnus. So is this going to be a 33 Magnus? Or are they just going to put it into the hands of Far for the position 5 perhaps? I mean, either way, it could potentially save the anti-mage from having to build his own Battle Fury. Or we could just see him build a Battle Fury over it anyway and then have that double cleave. We'll have to wait and see to see what position they are going to put this Magnus into. So far, Virtus Pro, they're going for exactly the same draft. They're picking up the Witch Doctor once again to be put into the hands of Ilias, position 5. So MudGolems going to pick up their mid laner now, or their other support. So I'm pretty sure this Magnus is going to be in the hands of 33 for the off lane. I mean, if you're planning on running the Magnus as a support role, then you normally tend to pick it up in the first 2 of your picks. So have to see what they're going to move it around to. Okay, so they grabbed the Earth Spirit, so that's going to be in the hands of Milan for the position of 4. So this is definitely going to be a 33 Magnus, or potentially a Borneo Magnus, but yeah, it's going to be 33 Magnus. Still just there looking for their mid laner. Meanwhile, Virtus Pro looking for their mid laner and their position 1. So you want someone who can do quite well against the anti-mage. Maybe a Morphling for Epileptic Kid, because you can always just turn into the anti-mage, and then every time that the AM tries to escape, you just blink after him with his own spell. That could be legit. They're actually going to go for the Alchemist. Okay, so they're going to want to try and just outfarm the anti-mage, despite the fact that the anti-mage is probably going to have an Empower quite a large portion of the time, as well as a Battle Fury, so the AM will be able to keep pace with the Alchemist. But even still, we'll have to see how this ends up going. I mean, an Alchemist up against a Magnus, he doesn't mind that at all. Just that Acid Spray just makes the whole area pretty difficult for the Magnus to try and contest the out. Unless, of course, this is actually going to be a mid-out. It's not necessarily just going to be in the hands of Epileptic Kid. It could go into the hands of GPK for the mid lane. I mean, it can go either way. But they ban out the Kunkka, so they're thinking that this Alchemist is going to be for the safe lane for Epileptic Kid, rather than a mid laner. But yeah, I think they're happy to put this as a safe lane, purely because he is just going to be up against the Magnus and an Earth Spirit. 2 melee heroes up against an Alpha is a little bit more annoying to deal with. You don't mind too badly if you can just outrange the Acid Spray, but I'll leave them there either way. And they should ban out the Timbersaw themselves. So it's just the mid laner for MudGolems to pick up, and the off laner, sorry, for MudGolems to pick up, and the mid laner for Virtus Pro. So what sort of thing are MudGolems sort of need to pick up for their mid lane? Animate's just going to be farming, and Magnus, he can become quite a dominant force in the early portions of the game as a core, but he still needs the support of another like high tempo-ish core to assist him. So maybe, I mean, Invoker might be alright again. Could potentially just pick up that once more. What else would there be? Storm Spirit, perhaps. Could be quite nice. Reverse Pro actually take the puck. So that will be in the hands for DM in the mid lane. And it's a pretty decent way to catch out this anti-mage. Put the Dream Coil on him if he tries to blink dagger, just blink out. He will just obviously stun himself. You maybe be able to abuse the silence for the early portions before the AM manages to build his Manta. Or we could potentially see him just get the Manta first, as he will have the Empower coming out from the Magnus to help him farm either way. It could work. It could work. We'll have to wait and see. MudGolems actually going to take the Doom once more. So is this going to be mid lane Magnus then? Or no, okay, so they take the Boronia's taking the Doom towards the mid lane. I mean, an early Doom against the puck as well is going to be really annoying for GPK. Because as soon as he gets doomed, he's not going to have any form of escape left. And it's pretty much just going to be an easy kill, as the puck is pretty damn squishy. Just heavily relies on his elusiveness to actually sustain himself. So I think in the mid lane, until Boronia gets level 6, GPK should have a relatively nice time. Not too bad, but for VP safe lane, Epileptic Kid going to be up against the Magnus and the Earth Spirit. He should have a pretty easy time spell himself, especially with Ilias supporting him from behind with the concoction and the voodoo restoration. So it's going to be quite nice for them. Meanwhile, Skeeter is going to be farming up against the Viper once again, so he's definitely going to be struggling. So Epileptic Kid's going to have a nice earlier start to this game. So I'm thinking VP's going to take this. I think VP's just going to 2-0, in all honesty. Unless somehow MudGolems manages to smash this Alchemist on the safe lane. Or maybe if MudGolems are going to try and swap their lanes around and maybe try and put the Anti-Mage up against the Alchemist. I mean, it will make it a little bit difficult for Skeeter to farm in the Acid Spray, but I mean, he should be able to farm slightly easier than if he's up against this Viper. So we'll have to see where they're going to move people around. Now, MudGolems, they're keeping it pretty standard. 33 and Milan's heading up towards the top lane. Skeeter's going to be down towards the bot. And then DM and Save's still going to be heading towards the bot lane themselves. So there's no sort of lane switching around. Going to try and make this a little bit easier for MudGolems. They're going to leave it the way it is. I mean, exactly the same move coming up from VP as the previous game. Just diving straight towards the Radiant jungle. And they all do get spotted out by this ward. So, once again, they're not going to find anyone. But even still, it's just securing space to guarantee the grab on these bounty runes. At least actually ends up running into faster a little bit there.
Just 30 seconds now.
Actually, quite a lot of rotations coming up from MudGolems. They maybe want to try and make some play happen. Seems they have this ward. Save is going to be the one caught out in the front. Skeeter is going to try to do some body blocks to get him to the range of everyone else, but Save, nice toss back there. Makes a nice bit of space for himself. It would have been so great, though, to see Skeeter take counterspell and then just counter the toss. That would have been great. That would have been pretty funny to see. There's still 4 heroes of VP down here, so it's definitely not something that Skeeter can try and contest. It looks like Epileptic Kid might even be able to snatch that bounty rune away, so it is actually going to be 3 bounties going towards VP, and especially seems though Epileptic Kid's got that Grievous Screed online already. Those bounties, nice little chunk of extra gold for him. Oh, it looks, so they are making a swap round. Epileptic Kid's actually heading down towards bot lane. He wants to lane up against AM perhaps? Nope, never mind. He's deeping back up towards the top. Maybe just didn't want to keep running into Milan. Didn't want to get hit by those boulders. Very smart play. Very smart play. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, 33. He's even just going to get harassed out by Ilias himself. So there's going to be a lovely amount of room for Epileptic. He should be able to snag every single one of these last hits. He's going to have a pretty damn easy time up top. In the mid lane, 5-2 to GPK and 3-0 to Boromir, so just a slight lead for GPK at the moment. Or even Boromir just whiffing those free last hits. Need every little bit you can get.
That was genius.
Someone's going to save, just dragging creep waves behind. Just making this a little bit easier farming up for DM. Ski doesn't mind too much. Oh, I think he's lagging out there. It seems like he's just tanking creep waves. This is just a shame, you know. Coronavirus, it hindered a lot of normal, like, physical sports. And, you know, a lot of them had to just completely shut down. But the one benefit of esports is that you can still, you know, do your tournaments and everything, as players can stay at home. But obviously, you know, players from all around the world, all in different locations, so there are going to be some people that just have a little bit worse connection than others. It's a little bit disappointing, but I mean, hey, at least it can go on. At least it can go on. Epileptic, he already used his acid spray there. Maybe you want to hold that. Could have used it here. That would have been quite a nice location. Oh, he tried to go for a nice little kick there onto the high ground. That would have been really damn nice. It would have forced Epileptic Kid to use another one as TPs. But there wouldn't have been any cancel for it, but even still. Oh. That's a very odd place to use your acid spray. Why didn't you use that on the creep wave, man? Epileptic Kid, he's playing very aggressively. He's actually just going to get rolled in and out by Milan, applying quite a bit of pressure onto him. He's taking a lot of damage. Shockwave's dragging him back in. Another kick there from Milan. A lot of damage. And Epileptic Kid actually ends up falling. I think that was just a little bit of a misuse of the acid spray. I don't quite understand why you put it here. He should have just put it on the creep wave and then fell back into that area and then just duped around it, and then it would have made it a little bit more difficult for MudGolems to try and apply a bit of pressure. A little bit of an odd usage there. And then does that. He was at the top of the CS chart at one point, but he has set him behind a little bit now. They're actually now just going to apply a bit of pressure now onto 33. Kick there to the side from Milan, even a skew route does put him into safety, but even still, Epileptic Kid, he's able just to farm up all these CS now. Oh, he actually misses one of the range creeps. Oopsie daisy. Meanwhile, down bottom, Dien, he's getting harassed quite a bit himself. Skier blinks forward, manages to get a last little tap onto him, brings him down. So this game's definitely going better for MudGolems this time. Skier's having a little bit more of a better time this time than he did in the previous game. And then likewise, Epileptic Kid's just, I mean, he started to pick up his CS once more. Epileptic Kid, he's focusing really heavily on actually harassing out rather than just going for these CSs. It's a little bit surprising, because I mean, as an alchemist, all you want is CS. You don't really care about much else. Oh, he even missed another last hit there. Roll forward from Man, does connect. Pushes him back in towards 33, but he doesn't actually have enough mana. Did have a couple of mangoes if we wanted to use them. But he decided not to. We'll just let Epileptic Kid stumble away. How's this mid lane going? Jesus! Oh my days! GPK is stomping Boromir on the CS. I mean, I knew the puck would have a slight advantage, but he's 27-12, and Boromir is 13-0. This is monstrously outdoing Boromir at the moment. Really, really badly. So, there's still a third of a level for Boromir to get before he gets his level 5. Meanwhile, GPK, he's a third of his level towards his level 6. Really nice, dominating, very dominant showing coming out from GPK. And he's even able to just apply so much pressure. Looking really damn rough for him. Meanwhile, Ilias, he actually ended up falling. He went for a pull into the creep camp. It does cost him his life. See if they have Epileptic actually able to get all these last hits. Oh, yes, there's another one. But even still, I mean, GPK's he's gonna have such a nice game this time. Already got his level 6 online. Could potentially maybe make a rotation some of the side lanes if you wanted to, or Maybe he's just going to keep trying to apply a bit of pressure onto this mid lane. I mean, it is a catapult wave now. But Boromir, I imagine he's just going to devour the catapult. It's on cooldown. It's off cooldown. Use your devour, man. Use your devour. What you did? It's efficiency. Boromir. Finally. Who gets it? Epileptic Kid, he does actually manage to snag it up. Milan tried to snatch the rune away. He does actually manage to get the regen rune, but he might put himself in harm's way. GPK, he probably could have just used the his ultimate there and went for a kill, but he decided not to. He wants to just keep that online still. I think it might have just been a fine usage, to be honest, because I mean, it's not like he needs it for anything else, so it just would have been a free kill. So see, maybe if he's going to try and make a rotation, potentially that could have been the reason why he held on to it.
Are you ready?
A couple of last hits, huh? Scrutinising everyone's CS abilities, I'm sorry. So you should have got that. You should have got that. Ooh, you should have got that.
That was genius. That was genius.
But even still, in the mid lane and the safe lane for VP, they're doing pretty well. But I mean, he's definitely more happy this game. He's gone for the Mask of Madness once again. I've seen this build a couple of times from anti-mages. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. It's really weird. Because obviously, as an anti-mage, you quite heavily rely on your ability to be quite maneuverable. So obviously, if you pop this Mask of Madness, you're just sort of sat there for 6 seconds where you can't blink out or anything. I mean, it is the cooldown anyway of the blink, so maybe it sort of works out alright there if you use it instantly when you go in there, so it doesn't hinder you too badly. But even still, it does make you fall a little bit quicker. Actually, in the mid, Milan does get a grab onto save. Even the Doom forced out onto GPK there. Doesn't find the kill onto him, but it's going to force him back. And it was a Dream Coil used as well. And he didn't actually get a grab onto Boromir. He just managed to survive.
That was genius. That was genius.
And GPK applying a bit of pressure onto Milan. Doesn't actually have a rune spawn. But needs to be careful now. Save rotates around with the Avalanche and Toss. There should be a free kill for GPK. Getting a little bit carried away with himself. I mean, as you expect to see, there is that Alchemist at the top of the CS chart. 1200 gold over the top of Skeeter. And it looks like he's ready just to move straight into the jungle. There isn't a couple of stacks made for him. It's not quite liquid level of stacks. They're only doubles. But even still, they don't really mind too much about that. Even Royal Jelly Drop. Advocate to take that anytime. So we'll just see his farm starts to accelerate very nicely. Working towards that Battle Fury is his first item. Going to have it online at a pretty decent timing. Meanwhile, in the mid, GPK commits the Dream Coil now onto Boromir. But he's just going to have to fully retreat. There's not enough damage between him and Save. And now Save's in a really dodgy spot. A couple of hits on Boromir and he chops him in half. So these first two Dream Coils used from GPK to no effect. Doesn't find anything. He's actually just got his boots on power treads on agility at the moment. A bit interesting. Just wants that attack speed buff.
You might wish to retract.
So the mid lane's actually, I would have thought that the GPK would have been shown a lot more dominant positions, seeing as how well he did in the actual CS at the start and had that level advantage over the top of Boromir. But I mean, these first few Dream Coil usages just haven't really been that great, to be honest with you. Ilias going to be making some more stacks for Epileptic Kids. Ooh, that dragon ruined it. We'll manage to stack the smaller camp though, at least. See if he finds something. So Skeeter, has he just got his finished boots coming out to him? Yeah, so he's got his finished boots. I imagine he'll probably still build that that Battle Fury. There's a free tower grab there for the side of VP. No one on MudGolems wants to try and come over and defend it or try and maybe get a potential deny. But with GPK, he actually ends up running into Fata. But he didn't have his Wayne and Rift online. And it's a little bit of a difficult kill to go onto Fata. Actually, he's not even level... Yeah, he's only level 5, so he might have been able to get the kill. But it would have been pretty close to that tier 2 tower. Could have been potential to have a couple of rotations moved on to him. So that is Battle Fury online for Epileptic Kid. Oh, no, up top. Ski actually gets a kill onto DM. It looks like GPK and Save just make a nice rotation around there and get the return kill onto Skeeter in 33. So it ends up being a nice little 2-for-1 trade for them. Only losing their offlaner, but picking up that high value kill of Skeeter. Just setting this game back a little bit. Is he building for the Battle Fury? He's still not queued anything up there. We've got to imagine it's going to be Battle Fury. But look at Milan, he actually rolls in. He's trying to get a grab now onto Ilias, but a nice toss back from Save, puts them both together, and they manages to get the easy kill onto Milan. They couldn't quite get the follow-up damage though onto Boromir. He's able to walk off. Maybe if Epileptic Kid had Unstable Concoction, but you never really want to take an early point in Unstable Concoction as an Alchemist. You just want to be able to ramp up your farming speed as much as you possibly can. He was able to get the scoop camp before the... So you know, you could have just killed the camp. We still get the stack either way. So he's building a Sanj as his next item. Is this going to be just a Heavenly Halberd for the Anti-Mage, or is he actually just going to make it into an S&Y? We'll have to wait and see. But 4 heroes grouped up for VP in the mid lane. Maybe potentially want to try to make a rotation around. I don't have any vision onto the Radiant side there. All they can see is Boromir. No one else. They can't spy out the rest of MudGolems who are actually sat behind him. So they will change their mind. They're actually going to head towards Skew at the bot, but already red once again. ETSP straight towards the top lane. He's going to dodge that entire movement. Okay, he is just building in for the Manta to be able to purge off the silence that's going to be coming out from GPK. So he's just going to be heavily relying on 33, just giving him those empowers to keep himself moving in this game. Well, just keep his farming speed up. It's the only way he's going to be able to contest this test this Alchemist. But he's already 4k behind. I mean, you expect to be a bit behind the Alchemist. There's not much you can do about that. But you don't want to be too far behind. So he's actually just leaving this Sanj as a casual Sanj for now. And he's gone for the AC as his next main build-up. But MudGolems are able to take the tier 1 tower top. Meanwhile, VP is sieging the tier 1 in the mid lane. There has been a smoke up now from the rest of MudGolems. They're going to see if they can get a grab on someone potentially. TP comes up for 33, right into the middle, but Save was ready and waiting. Gets the Avalanche toss combo over the Maledict on top. Not enough to bring him down. RP, oh, it nearly came out, but he was silenced just in time there from GPK. And it looks like he will fall from the damage. Boromir also failed. They did manage to get a return kill to Ilias at least, but it doesn't really get much else. Milan ends up falling once more. Even Epileptic is rotated around. They're going to start focusing now onto Fata. A couple of swipes with the dot damage coming up from DM. He gets himself a triple kill. And ends up being a 4-for-1 trade favouring VP. They only lose in the Witch Doctor themselves. Nice movements there from VP. Looking real damn scary for MudGolems once again. Just it feels like they're just... I don't know. It feels like they're always just lacking behind. And once again, I really think that Skeeter should have just built for the Battle Fury. He's relying way too heavily on 33 being able to give him these empowers, but it's a core Magnus. He can't just follow you around the entire time just giving you empower. He has to be able to go off and farm and do his own things as well. Otherwise, you're reducing your team down to a 2-core setup rather than a 3-core setup, and that's just even worse. So I really think he should have gone for for a Battle Fury at least. I really do. The Mask of Madness is an interesting build if you're... I think if your team's slightly ahead, then it's quite nice that you're able to set up for some nice kills. But yeah, I definitely think he needed the Battle Fury still, despite the fact of having the mag. Feels like all I'm doing is just ripping on Skeeter in these series. I'm not doing it intentionally. Meanwhile, AC, it's not a million miles away now for Epileptic Kid. It's only 1,400 gold away now, 1,200 gold. Forget about the big Grievel's Greed bonus. Meanwhile, GPK, he's got his Blink Dagger online, building up to that. Yule Scepter is his next item. Going to be a way for him to purge off the silence that's going to be coming out from Malam. So Ski might be able to apply a nice bit of pressure onto this tier 2. Doesn't actually want to focus his time on hitting that tower. I think he probably could have brought it down, seeing how the could have, well, at least potentially forced out the glyph. So he's about 1,500 away from finishing up his Manta at least. So he's going to have that. But even still, once he has his Manta online, it's not like it's going to allow him to start really getting into these fights. It's just a way to purge off a couple of silences. So DM got Rod of Atos online, building for a Glimmer Cape as well. Even Save's now got his Blink Dagger online as well. Even more ways for them to initiate into these fights. Looks like they're going to try and make a grouping around this tier 2 bottom. Maybe potentially going to try and force it down before the 20-minute mark. There it is. He jumps towards the back. He does find fire, puts down the Maledict, and this is going to be more than enough damage. Oh, there he is. He actually ends up falling though, taking way too much focus from that tower. He needs to way click some of his allies to take a bit of the pressure away from him. But even still, he trades his life away for the other position of 5, and that will just allow his team to get an easy tier 2 top bottom lane. Even a double damage at the bot, so maybe you could potentially see VP try and move straight into the Roshan pit with this, or maybe they might just hang around the bot and just want to secure and make sure that MudGolems doesn't just come in and steal it away once again. So Skier, he's nearly got half the CS of half the net worth of Epileptic Kid once again, and this time it's only 18 minutes in. Battle Fury Online, Sanj, AC, building towards that BKB is his next item. He got killed once at the very start of the game, but since then he's just not been pressured at all. He's got such a free time, and they will actually move into the Roshan pit now with this double damage. And this will be brought down pretty damn quickly. The illusion that from Skier there, he does actually spot this out. So maybe MudGolems are going to try and make a rotation. They need to move quickly though. This Roche is dropping so damn fast. Way too much damage coming out. They are going to arrive, but it's too damn late. And they might just be forced to go back. They do still have this RP online and Doom. So you've got those big ultimates. They might want to try and potentially make something happen here. They're going to start running into the back lines, jump forward from Boromir. He gets the Doom connection onto the puck there, but they've got nice RP connect onto 2. But they all get stunned. The concoction that comes out just stuns absolutely everyone in place. Ski is forced to run away. He's got the magnets on him, so he might end up falling. Fire ends up dropping again. I think there's enough protection on Ski to keep him alive one more tick. Oh, he just barely lives. That's all the big ultimates on the side of MudGolems used, and all they get is another kill on Telius. That's all they managed to find. Oh, Jesus. But that massive, unstable concoction stun that came out from Epileptic Kid there just held them all in place. It was bigger than the goddamn RP. RP only managed to connect on 2. GPK actually ends up just finding a free kill onto Milan towards the bot lane. Boronius is hanging behind the tier 1 top. He doesn't have anything. He's hanging around here. Is he maybe going to think that someone from other MudGolems is going to try and make some sort of play happen? They definitely can't. Especially seems how there is this Aegis on this Epileptic Kid as well. He's got a full BKB being shipped out to him. Got a Basher as well. Well, actually, I don't think he even bothered with the BKB actually. What's in his courier? No, that's not his courier. Okay, so yeah, he didn't even bother going with the BKB. Maybe realising just how powerful they are. He just wants to go for even more DPS style. Doesn't even care about tanking tier 2s. It just easily forces them down. Meanwhile, the rest of VP going to start sieging this tier 2 in the mid lane. Oh, Dreamcore gets used up. Borony is held in place. Doesn't got to snap it yet. Jump forward there from save. Throws him all the way back onto GPK, which does actually snap the coil. So it looks like Borony will fall. Epileptic Kid tried to find someone with the unstable concoction, but the rest of MudGolems just bailed out of there. They didn't want to help him at all. So there's creeps knocking on the tier 3 door up top. Another tier 2 falling in the mid lane. And it looks like VP, they're just going to keep this pressure going and start moving on to tier 3 in the mid. Skeeter's trying to make as much space as he can, trying to cut as much waves as he possibly can do. But I mean, without Battle Fury, this is taking quite a while just to kill one creep wave itself. Meanwhile, in the time he's able to kill a single creep wave, VP is taking the tier 3 tower in the mid. And this will just be a free lane of racks, but MudGolems, they realise that there's not much they can do about it, so they're going to find what little they can. So mid-rack's gone, and VP, they don't really care about anything else, they're just going to head straight towards the tier 3 up top. And this, like, MudGolems, they're now going to be forced to come back. They do have all their ultimates available, so they could potentially set for something up here. Epileptic Kid, he got 2.6 HP plus the Aegis. He will be skewed back into the rest of them. Hoostop comes out from Borony. The jump forward GPK with the Dream Core is going to make a little bit of space for him. Epileptic Kid, he did drop low with the concoction. It does connect low onto 33. Death Ward coming out from Ilias, doing quite a bit of damage. Borony is forced to use his BKB. And they start focusing onto DM now. He is caught out from the rest of it, so it looks like he will potentially fall. Land rolls forwards, does connect onto Epileptic Kid, but maybe that's not the target you want. He will get turned around on. The RP comes out 33, connects onto 2, he's going to stop the retreat for now. Skews him back into the base, and there will be the first life Epileptic Kid going down. Save. They didn't have enough to bring him down himself, so he's able to walk it off. Now Epileptic Kid stuck amongst the rest of MudGolems. He doesn't have much else left in the bank. Even the counter spell coming out there from the Skeeter is going to be forced Epileptic Kid down. And VP just completely abandons him. So it's actually a pretty good hold coming out from MudGolems. Like, they get a couple of good kills. It's the double kill onto Epileptic Kid as well. It only costs them the buyback on 33, but that's all they lose. So really, really nice from them. And now that that's a little bit of space, they can try and find something else happen. Maybe potentially try and push onto this tier 1 in the mid, but there is a couple of members from VP though. Maybe going to set up around this and catch someone out if they do try and actually move in there. But Skia, this is a space for him to actually start getting a little bit of farm online. Even getting that Heaven's Halberd himself to be able to just make it so this Alchemist isn't so goddamn annoying to deal with. For VP, they're on the hunt now for Skeeter. They're drawing out on the maps. They realise he's going to be around here somewhere, waiting for this creep cam to spawn. He will be able to kill it pretty quick. And which way is Skeeter? He actually blinks straight into Ilias, and they will manage to find him. He pops out that magic, the counter spell, but it didn't connect onto anything. Even the Dream Core committed. He's affected by the Glimmer Cake. Comes out fun. Actually keeps him alive. They don't have any other follow up. Now GPK ends up getting caught. He will do put the Rift just to keep himself alive. Even with defensive Evil Scepter, and he's going to fall back. Once again, Borony just, not Borony, sorry, Epileptic just blows himself up with that unstable concoction. So it was nearly a nice little grab there onto Skeeter, but nice moves there by Far. Keeps him alive with that Glimmer Cape. There wasn't actually any detection. Actually, there was a sentry ward, but I suppose he moved up onto the high ground. They don't have any high ground vision. But yeah, all they have is that low ground down there, so it does actually keep him alive. I mean, there's very limited vision on MudGolem's side themselves. They don't really know much about what's going on in the rest of this map. Roshan potentially up in 2 minutes 10 seconds. We'll see if MudGolems gets lucky. Well, even still 2 minutes away. It's miles away before you can actually re-predict on who's going to be in this area at that time. So VP, they've slowed down on their aggression for now. Maybe now they want Epileptic Kid to have that BKB, and that is for sure what he's building up. Already got his Abyssal Blade online. He will have it pretty soon. Doesn't take him long to farm up these camps. This is such an odd build for an anti-mage. Heaven's Halberd plus an Echo Saber. He actually did dismantle that Mask of Madness in the end to make that Echo Saber, so I suppose that is the potential use of this item build. It looks like everyone in MudGolems are just baiting out Skeeter, letting him set at the front lines. Meanwhile, it looks like VP maybe expect them to try and push onto this tier 1, so they're all set up behind it themselves. So potential Roche spawn in 25 seconds. BKB nearly online now for Epileptic Kids. Only 200 gold away. So he should be able to get that after a couple more camps down towards the bot. Well, actually, no, never mind. I think he just sold a couple of his braces and then finished up either way. So now it looks like VP, they want to try and make something happen. They've got this nice little item timer. And we're going to group up in the mid. Going to go for a smoke play and head towards the... just running straight down towards the mid lane at the moment. They do see Boromir sat at the front. He is smoked up. Oh, he doesn't find anyone yet again. He's just going to end up blowing himself up. This unstable concoction. You do this way too much, Epileptic Kid. Big stomp. Holds Epileptic Kid back. And unfortunately, VP, they've just lost their momentum. They're going to have to fall back for a little bit more. Roche is up in a minute 20. There is actually a double damage down bottom. Going to pass the bottle over to Epileptic Kid. Going to let him fill that up. It's definitely going to be a nice thing to make a move happen once the next Chemical Rage is online. But the rest of the MudGolems, they've smoked up themselves. Hanging about on the other side of the river. Just both teams had a little bit of a standoff at the moment. Neither actually has vision on the other team. So Roshan still up in 30 seconds. Both teams just want to hang around this area. They realise that the spawner is coming soon. Oh, save. He goes for a deny onto a sentry ward, but instead he gets jumped on by Boromir. Take quite a bit of damage. RP gets committed onto the two supports. He does get used up before he can skew them all the way towards the backlines, but the damage is done. Saves drops through there. He's forced to buy back. 33 is going to pay with this with his life. Ski jumps towards the back, finishes up Ilias. But Epileptic Kid, he worked his way. 33 did fall. Fire's dropping pretty low. So much magic damage. Does actually get finished up there from DM. Now everyone's stuck in the front. Epileptic Kid is trying to focus down as much as he can. Boromir taking so much damn damage. Oh, the Mana Void came out there, but it was on to save the wrong target. He had completely full mana. He doesn't get a connect onto anything. So it ends up being a 3-4-2 trade favouring MudGolems. It did actually cost 2 buybacks on the side of VP, but even still, it is a slight advantage. And that is going to run straight into the Roche pit, as it is a 5 versus 3. Ooh, looks like Milan nearly got caught out then. But he's just wasting time for VP. They will now run back into the Roche pit and try and bring this down. Oh, GPK. He finds the grab onto Skier. Uses the Dream Call on him with a toss there from save. Gets him that stun block. Trying to hold him in place, gets silenced up, can't pop it again. Unstable Concoction comes out, but not in time. The silence wears off, and he's able to get the counter spell. Super close there. Oh, he nearly gets found by GPK, and might have been able to cancel that TP out. But Lance is ready and waiting onto this high ground. I mean, it's just more time wasted. Roshan is still half HP. There is the potential for MudGolems to maybe come over here. They don't actually have RP or Doom available for another 30 seconds. So they probably will just let this fall. Milan, though, he's just ready, waiting. He's going to roll in any second to try and get this grab. Already comes in there to still roll forward from him. He does actually get the connect onto anything. Epic Leptic, he's still able to get the grab. Skier jumps forward, trying to get it himself, but he ends up just dropping. The Unstable Concoction finally actually getting the kill this time. And it looks like they're just going to net another kill onto Fata. So he's gone for 70 seconds slow buyback. There is a buyback available for Skeeter, but it will hurt him quite bad if he's forced to use this. So now VP's just going to start barreling down to this mid lane. Once again on a 5 versus 3 advantage. And that 5, a very high value kill onto Skeeter. The buyback is forced out, and they roll straight forward onto Epilepsy Kid. They're both silenced up. And they potentially just going to force them back for now. But Skeeter, he jumps straight towards the back, focuses down onto Ilias, but he's put himself in a dangerous position. The toss comes out there from Save. It just cancels the RP in time. Skeeter's getting pretty damn low. Even 33 end up falling, and they're both gone. That's just game. There's nothing they can do. Oh, that toss. I don't think that was intentional. That was so not intentional, but that saved them so damn hard. That RP would have done massive amount of work, and that could have just set up for a super nice mana void coming out from Skeeter. But all it took was a single W from Save at the perfect time to cancel the RP out. And I think that's it. I think that's it. Fata's up in 6 seconds. Oh, even Milan ended up getting hunted down by GPK. But it's just going to be Fata and Borodia to try and hold the line here. If maybe they can delay it for 10 seconds for 33 to respawn. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. They're actually going to start hunting for kills now, VP. Focusing now to Fata. He drops pretty quickly. Now Borodia is forced to retreat. Milan respawns, 33 respawns. They might potentially be able to hold this. I think VP maybe been distracted too much. Doom even connects onto GPK. He's going to be forced to run away. Epileptic Kid, he's just slowly chunking away onto this Ancient, but it's still not a massive amount of damage. Looks like GPK will eventually fall. And now it's just DM and Epileptic Kid left with the rest. GPK is even going to be forced to buy back to try and make this play happen. They're keeping Epileptic Kid stunned up. RP, it does come out finally from 33, but it only connects onto the 1, and he managed to get his BKB up in time, so he's not going to be able to hold him down. The Abyssal Blade connection there for Epileptic Kid. Whole Sam Borodia, he falls pretty quickly. Milan falls pretty quickly, and that's this game. Finally, they tap it out. Woo! It looked like potentially there could have been a little bit of a hold there from MudGolems, but I think 33 really needed to connect that RP onto 2 of them. I mean, if he connected that RP before Save managed to save his team with that absolutely perfectly timed toss, then it could have actually kept them in that game, and they could have potentially turned that around. But all it took was a single W from a Tiny. He's a tiny man, but that's a big play. So really well played there by VP, taking that series 2-0. That second game was definitely closer than the first one. There was a couple of times where MudGolems managed to bring themselves back into it, but even still, VP managed to just take a couple more better engagements than them, and yeah, it was enough to make them win the game. So either way, very well played to them, and yeah, managing to 2-0, very nice. But if you guys have enjoyed this game, then please think about following me on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. I post on Twitter what I'm going to be casting in future games. The next series I'm going to be doing is actually Alliance versus Viking.gg. So yeah, hopefully if you guys have enjoyed what I've been able to provide, then yeah, please think about sticking around and maybe watching that series as well. So cheers for your support, and hopefully see you again in the future. Cheers.